Introduction, a brief introduction about me. And first of all, I would like to thank you, IoT Academy, to giving an opportunity to present my session on behalf of time management for teachers in higher educational institutions. Today, I am going to present a huge introduction about what is time management, how we have to manage the time, and how would like to present our time to be innovative way. And so these are all things we would like to learn in this session. So today I'm going to introduce first what is time. So time is generally we heard about in typical way. So time is an valuable asset. So from coming to this time management session, you would like to able to learn at the end of the session to ways to about know how you can be more productive every day. First, the second one is explain the importance of selecting the right goals. So whenever you are setting your goals, you should learn about how we have to say selecting the right goals for your career. And next one is discuss how by getting to know yourself better, you can amplify your talents and minimize your weaknesses after end of this session. Recall at least 5 minutes of your time killing habits so that you can minimize your procrastination habits, so that you can learn how effectively you can utilize your time and time management skills. And next one is for this session, you can how optimize you are having a critical element to be better yourself, and at the same time the time management. And at the same time, why multitasking makes you less inefficient, so that you can have to be more focused only for your right goals. And at the same time discuss the importance of deadlines and how they affect productivity and planning for your time, and at the same time choosing the right goal. So these are all outcomes when you gone through all these session, that is 50 minutes of your session. So coming to the next one, the slide. So, what exactly the time management is? Time management is a hot topic for the teachers nowadays. Not only for teachers, each and every individual is facing how far we have to utilizing the time in an innovative manner and effective manner. So that's why time management is the simplest one, and at the same time hot topic too. So time management is the process of organizing and planning how you can spend the time, and how innovatively you can spend the time, and it involves the setting of goals, making schedules, and prioritizing tasks. So in this, the primary purpose of this particular time management is to help you to take over the time under control, and as a result what you can observe is to increase your productivity, relieving stress, and at the same time achieving goals, making schedules, and prioritizing your tasks. So here are some comprehensive benefits, how far you can utilize the teachers. So time management, so whenever as a teacher you can manage your time effectively, that is a biggest task for you, and at the same time that is also a biggest problem for you as a teacher. So in this presentation I would like to explore why time management is a key for success, and share some strategies to help you to make your daily life or daily tasks so that you can engage your with duties in effective manner. So here there are some benefits of time management. So first one is more time for teaching. So whenever you are using your time in an effective manner, you can utilize your time for effective teaching. Next, you can always looking for the optimal work life balance. So whenever you are using the time with innovative manner and efficient manner, and to set right goals, you can use your optimal work life balance. So suppose taking an example of your proper planning and control will reduce your stress levels, and at the same time whenever you are going for a consequence, you will notice a significant improvement in your overall well-being. So this is optimal work life balance. Next, better student outcomes. So when teacher manage their time effectively, it can lead to improved student outcomes as well. So this is because you get more time available for things like lesson planning, preparation, which can result in more engaging and effective lessons. So next one is greater satisfaction. So whenever time management empowers you to accomplish more and make a real difference in your students lives. So and when you feel like you are in control of your time and everything is more organized, so you begin to enjoy the process more and your job satisfaction naturally increases. So higher productivity, thanks to our time management, your concentration and well-being can get much more better than lack of good organization. So and when you are energized, able to focus on only one task and give it your full attention, you will be amazed at how much you are more quickly and easily that works gets to be done. So these are all benefits whenever you are utilizing the time in efficient and effective manner. So there are some myths about your time management. Can you please go back, ma'am? So in this time management, it is nothing but a common sense. So whenever the people look into different tasks, you have to set your time for each and every task, so which is prioritized, which is not prioritized. So based on that only, you have to set your time, which one has to do first, which one do has to later. So there are different time zones, red zone, green zone, like that. So based on your priorities only, you have to set time for your goals or tasks. So in this particular miss about time management, it takes all the fun out of life. So whenever you are go through with your punctual time and everything, it is making sense of fun to you. And at the same time, time management is whenever you are doing your work in time, so there is no pressure for you because stress level has not to be increased. So whenever you are not doing your work in a proper time or something like that, stress levels are increased to be for your what daily routine life. So no matter what I do, I won't have the time to do our work. So here you just look upon to your daily tasks, and at the same time you have to set your time for your daily tasks. So priorities has to be required. So based on priorities only, you have to give ranking on that particular priorities, like 1 2 3. So you should first has to be done, later on you have to jump into second one. So if first not to be done, again you have to look back into the second one and first one. So this is so this forms a procrastination for your daily schedule. Next one, ma'am. So what is the truth about time management? So already we discussed truth about management. So there are so many benefits for the time management. You can increase your productivity, you can reduce your stress levels whenever you are doing your work in a right time, right way, right person, and improves your self esteem. So self esteem means you can create wonders for this self esteem. You cannot look back into your future past and days. So whenever you are set your time in a effective manner, automatically your self actualization, self esteem needs has to be fulfilled. So and at the same time it improves balance your work life balance. So you can manage your personal life and at the same time professional life and academic life. So you can manage whenever you are doing in right time. So increases self confidence. So whenever you are in time, automatically it shows your self confidence. Okay, I did my best. So like that, it's some self confidence levels has to be increased, and at the same time helps to reach your goals. So whenever you set your goals, automatically in time, automatically you achieve miracles in your career and growth. So next, ma'am. So there are some common challenges that teacher has is facing in entire what world or entire nation. So here there are some challenges, that means the problems what the teacher is facing. First, limited time for planning. So if the teacher is not set for the planning of their tasks or scheduling of their lesson plan, or um, interacting with the students or research work, whatever it may be, you should have to plan for yourself. If you are not planning for yourself within the time limit, is you could not achieve your target. So that's why generally teacher is having limited times, because they are having to spend their personal life and at the same time professional level, and some academic what we call academic balance too. So we have to manage all these things within a time. So we sometimes we are facing that problem in our academic careers. So next one is administrative types. So tasks in this, we are not only looking not only into teaching, we are sometimes we are going through with the academic tasks too. So here we cannot manage that both administrative tasks and our teaching tasks too. So there is some common problems for the teachers. And interruptions and distractions. So here one student will distract you, one student will distract you, somebody will call you. So these distractions sometimes a big challenge for you as a teacher. And at the same time, poor classroom management. So here, whenever the student is not disciplined in manner, the student chit chatting with others while you are lecturing in the classroom, so you just distracted from the students, and yet you as a teacher you shout like anything. So this is also one of the biggest problem to kill your time, and teacher is also facing by this poor classroom management. And lack of support. If no one is not giving a support to you, you could not manage your time. So this is also a biggest challenge for you a teacher. So that the teacher has to first set your goals, prioritize your goals, and understand what have to do first, what you cannot do in fast, you have to set. Next, poor work life balance. So whenever you are not minimizing your work stress, you cannot cope up with your work life balance, so that it will impact in your hormonal diseases, and at the same time mental health, and increases your stress level. So that you could set your time based on your time limit. So that's why you can that's the biggest challenge for you to cope up with the time management, both professional and academic way. Next, ma'am. Next, ma'am. Hello. Yes. Back. Go back, ma'am. Back. And time management hacks for teachers. So here there are there are some hacks for teachers. First one is make a realistic to-do list. Generally we are having different tasks, so from these tasks you have to, which one has to be more realistic, you have to set that particular list. And second one is set goals and priorities. So from all these realistic goals, you have to set your priorities and give a ranking on that particular task and priorities. And first you have to give the top priority one. Third one is use a planner. So there are some planner apps, you can use that one. You can use that particular sheets and enter that entire plan for your lesson plan, whatever it may be, you can use that particular apps. And consider day timing, and at the same time task batching. So in this, there are different tasks. As a teacher, you are having different administrative tasks, teaching tasks, and sometimes event tasks. You are having different tasks. So what you have to do is you have to divide into groups. So whenever you are dividing into groups, which one you have to do as per time, you have to do that first set priority. So later on you can jump into another group, later on jump into another group. That's why you can minimize your wastage of your time. Next one is embrace your technology. So how can you embrace your technology? Without technology we can't do anything nowadays. So you have to upgrading with your technological skills, so that you can minimize your time. Suppose taken an example of presentation, you can't put all the data into paper, so you can use your technology, PowerPoint presentation. There are different presentation tools, so that you can reducing the minimization of the wastage of the time. Within the time limit only you can present your presentation. Next one is use parent volunteers. So what is this parent volunteers? So use your there are some institutions provide to you some what parent volunteers. So in that you can drop a mail or drop a description. Based on that description only you can set your time and do your work. Next, allow students to help you. Suppose if you are having some task, you cannot only one person to do the entire thing, so that you can ask your students to cope up, to mingle with them and do the work as efficiently and effectively. Taken an example of organizing an event, you can't only one person to do the entire event, so you can take your help of the students, and utilizing the time within the time only you can have to say do the work efficient way and innovative way. So plan homework strategically. Suppose if you are having what we call FDP programs, workshops to attend, whatever it may be, or to write the research article, whatever it may be, you have to set your time for your academic achievements too. And learn to say no. Generally people will say generally no if you have some work or whatever it may be, but don't say if there is a possibility to do, don't say there is no option. Okay, so here whenever you want to learn something, don't say no. Don't say no. And next one is delegation of tasks. Delegation of tasks is, suppose you are having more number of tasks one by one in a 1 year. So what you have to do is, you have to set all the tasks, you have to prepare all the tasks like lesson plan. So you have to prepare lesson the plan, and at the same time how many hours you have to give, or how many minutes you have to give for each and every subtopic in your lesson plan. So that's why you can delegate your task in the classroom in effective manner. Next, take breaks. Suppose you are continuously running with your time schedule, sometimes you have to give the break, because your head is not taking all the things to do in efficient and effective manner. So sometimes, suppose if you done the work 3 hours, so you should give some 10 minutes of break, or 20 minutes of break, so that your brain enhances with new different skills. Keep your personal life balanced. So our life is not only mingle with only one academic professional. You have to maintain both personal life and professional life, because we are having family. So family is also important to our part of our life, so that we can maintain both the balance of personal and professional life too. Next one. Hello. 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 Yes. So I'm back. Yes. Steps to maintain how you can managing the time. So there are different kinds of steps to manage the time for each and every candidate or each and every teacher. First, we need to set the goals. So how we have to set the goal? And set reasonable expectations. Reasonable expectations means, so whenever you set the goals, that all set of goals are to be prioritized. So what you have to do is, you have to set the priorities later on. After that, you have to make a schedule, revisit and revise your plan. Next one. So first we have to set the goals. So what is goal? Goal is nothing but the plan which we have to make already. So in this, what you have to do is, first make your goals are very specific and concrete. It should be understandable, it should be very accurate, it should be very specific, and it is not to be vague in the what market, whatever it may be. That particular goal is very, very specific. First, you need to set both long term and short term ones to support that particular goals. So when you have to divide whether it is short one, whether it is long term, and set a deadline for your goals. Set a deadline for your goals. That means you have to mark with the time, and integrate your goals like school or personal and career. Your goals has to be integrated with the personal and career and school. Suppose I have some work, but I cannot I cannot run up with my family at that time. So what you have to do later on, you have to do, first you need to prioritize your school timings. Next one is realize that goals can be changed, and but know which goals to stick for that particular two. So here you have to realize with the goals what you can change in future, but know which goals are you can stick to. Both you have to do as per your time. Next, ma'am. So here from goals, what you have to do, you are having some expectations. From that expectations, you need to set the priorities. So it is very, very important, and what is not, you have to set the priorities. Suppose you are having 10 goals. So in that 10 goals, what you have to do, which one is first prioritized and which one is last priorities. First you should notice what is important, what is not, you should identify. Next one is what order of to do things and need to be done in effective manner. So you need to give a numbering. So what order of things we have to do and we have to be done. That is main important task. So once you know the things, that means the priorities, what your priorities are, you need to plan a schedule of that. Suppose you prioritized something to finish the lesson plan, the first one. What you have to do, based on the lesson plan, you need to plan for your schedule. So in the for that particular semester, so the week or the day or month of that particular schedule. So planning may seem very harder, and at the same time, but when you do your planning in effective manner, but and make an effective innovative way, the easier and more natural it gets. So suppose if you are not planning, automatically it goes into wrong way. So if you are planning, automatically it is in the correct way and correct path too, and minimize your reducing the time wastage. Next, ma'am. So make a schedule. How can you make a schedule? There are some apps you can use the make a schedule, but what you have to do in this make a schedule, first set up your, as a teacher you have to set up your calendar. So take your calendar, like online there are some apps too. So block all the important time set obligations you have to block. So from that particular block all classes and lab timings whatever you have. So look at the syllabus for you, your each class schedule in that. So suppose if you are having two or more subjects, what you have to do, you have to block the calendar as per your time availability and what we call day availability. So and that next one, note the weight of the activities. So which you have to give, which you are underrated that particular weight of the activities, you just put on that particular calendar. And highlight all the exams and projects due dates. Suppose if you gave some assignment to students, so you just highlight all the exams and assignments and tech talks whatever it may be, you just highlight the dates in that particular calendar. So work backwards from exams and papers. Suppose students written the examinations end of the semester, you just put all the dates. That means completion of paper correction. You have to put the dates, study time, time your sanity, whatever it may be. You just take a calendar, block all the days and timings according to your time schedule and according to your tasks. So this is the make a schedule. Next. Next, ma'am. Hello. Hello. Hello, ma'am. Are you there? Hello, ma'am. Are you there? Hello. Hello, ma'am. Ma'am, can you please share the slide? Yes. Next one is review. So, review time and energy management can make you more productive and reduce your stress levels. So, without time management, you will burst out yourself from the stress levels. So, stress levels will lead to different diseases. You know what diseases we will get, like diabetes, BP, heart attack. So, these many are stresses. uh, we cannot cope up with our time, and we cannot take in our lives back into. So whenever you are looking into our time management skills or maintaining the time tapes, you can obviously do in better way and better innovative way. So time leads, this review leads to three steps. One is you have to set the goals, set the prayer, make a schedule, and revisit and revise your plan. Revisit means, suppose if you done some task, again you just look a glance to that particular task and revisit that particular calendar, and whether I did that particular schedule in a correct manner or not, you have to check it out. So when you revisit, automatically you can revise your plan. So we cannot what associate much time with our time management, but it is a very big tough moment to associate with your time, and at the same time you cannot manage the time in 100% perfect way. But when you understand the time management tips or tool strategy, you can reducing the minimization of the wastage of the time, and at the same time you cannot look into the things that is procrastination of your work, that means the delaying of work. So here actively you have to avoid the procrastination and time wasters in and around you. So always you have to say, learn, say to no, that is a distraction to you. So whenever if something work has to given by someone or whatever it may be, you just not to say, learn to say no. Employ a variety of time management strategies to maximize your time, relax, and enjoy the extra time that you have discussed. So, whenever you fulfill all the tasks or whenever you did all the tasks in a time limit, automatically what will happen? You can enjoy your time and fun with your family. So, this is how can you evaluate the time management. So, here there are four quadrants. The four quadrants will implies one is important, one is urgent, not urgent, one is less important. So here there are four quadrants: important and urgent. So taken an example of here course exam, you can write some articles, assessment, whatever. So you must grade it as you can. So first you have to prioritize. One is important and the other one is urgent, so you have to first prioritize that one. Second one is important and not urgent. Suppose if they given some time like 10 days or 15 days, 20 days, it is important to do, but at the same time later you can do, it is not that much urgent. Taken an example of unit month test or else reading test for the students, these are all very important but not an urgency. So you, for someone you trust, should grade it it when you have the time. You can use your time whenever there is a possibility to do that particular task. Next one is less important, urgent. So it is not important but it is an urgent. What it is? conducting some quizzes for the students, it is not that much important, but it is an urgent to finish your syllabus, to finish your lesson, or to finish your unit. So taking an example of completion of grades, it is not that much important because end of the semester we have to do, but it is not that much urgent, but is that much important, but it is an urgent. And spelling test, so suppose as an English teacher you can give some tests to the students, but it is not that much important, but it is an urgent. So like that you have to divide your priorities. Based on priorities only you have to do, you have to draw this four quadrant diagram. So in the diagram, which is important to you, which is urgent to you, which is not urgent to you, which is less important to you, you can prioritize yourself. Based on that only you have to do your work according to your time, uh, time and uh, timetable. So this is, next one is not urgent, less important. Both are not important and not urgent. So taking an example of homework, warm-ups, and what we call go to canteen. So these are all not that much important. As a teacher you have to spend your time with your research work, or in the college you have research work or assignments or student schedules, whatever it may be. So go to canteen, that is not that much necessary. Whenever there is a possibility you have to go to the canteen and enjoy with your colleagues. So here there are 160 hours in a week. So from these 168 hours, what you can do? So you have to give important to urgent one and not urgent one, important one, not important one, like that. So whenever you are prioritized with these aspects only, you can utilize the time in 100% what effective manner. So here, important, urgent, do now. What you have to must and should do the work. Here, important, not urgent. So you have to plan to do the things. Suppose it is not urgent, you have to plan that one, but not to do urgently. That is that one. Not important, urgent, so you have to reject, because it is not that much that much important, but it is an urgent. So what you have to do is, you have to scrutinize your demands. So reassess, and again you have to possible to reject, and at the same time avoid these tasks. Later on you can do these things. So next one is not important, not so that much urgent. So what you have to do, you have to resist yourself. So comfort activities, computer gaming, net surfing, chatting, gossips, texting, social media, we are what completely involved in that nowadays. So daydreaming, doodling, overlong breaks, unnecessary adjusting equipment, habitual comfort, not true tasks. So these are all you can do later. Not that much urgent, not that much important. So this is 168 hours in a week. How far we are utilizing to our work in a effective manner, we need to see, so that we can achieve academic achievements too. Thank you. Next one, ma'am. So how you can improving the time management skills based on that, ma'am, go back. Yes. How you can improving the time management, we just ma'am, go back, ma'am, please. Hello, ma'am, go back, previous slide. Hello, not this one, ma'am, again one. Yes. So in this particular time strategies for the teachers, what are the apps, what are the strategies we have to do first? So to reduce the reduce the wastage of the time. So anybody knows about this one? How can we reduce the time? What are the strategies to improving the time manage? First you need to utilize the technology. So whenever you are utilizing the technology, there are some online tools such as digital grade books and lesson planning apps to streamline your tasks and save time. So in this particular utilizing technology, it is divided into different manner. First, you need to create a schedule. Later on, you just set the time. After that, you have to delegate the task. So how can you create the schedule? Make a weekly schedule to block off time for grading, lesson planning, and meetings. Next, you have to set the time for that. Next, delegate tasks. So you have to take the help of teacher assistants or student helpers or parent volunteers to tackle routine tasks like grading or photocopying, whatever it may be. So these are the strategies very, very useful to improving your time management. Next one. And here there are some tools you can use for your time management. So in this time management, uh, online calendars are very, very, very helpful to you. So there are some apps which was introduced by Google Play Store. So in that there are some online calendars. So in that online calendar you can make a schedule as per your task. So you just note it down, block the dates as per your timetable. Second one is classroom management apps. So these classroom management apps will enhance your career growth and at the same time to minimize your work stress. So based on management as what you have to do first, what you are not doing to first, these apps will inform you. Next, time tracking apps. So these time tracking apps will give a limited time to you. Based on that time only you have to finish your task. Next, productivity apps. So productivity apps are nothing but how your session has to be pleased by your students. That means the feedback will given by your students within a time. That means like Google Forms or whatever it may be. So you can enjoy that particular tracking, that productivity act, so that you can increase your skills. Next, note taking apps. So whenever there is whenever you have to reduce your time for your students to take the notes, you can use the note making notes for the students as well as yours. So these are all tools you can use by your own, or else the teachers too, or else the students too. So there are some resources, the time management for teachers has to be available. First one is time management books for teachers. There are lot many books are to be introduced by Amazon, Flipkart, who that is the e-commerce websites. You can go through it, you can get a wonderful books from that particular sites. Next, planner for teachers. There are different planning apps for the teachers. You can download it from the Google Play Store. You will get nice apps so that you can block all the so can you can give a time space to your time schedule for your tasks. Next, time management course for teachers. So already we known about different types of course introduced for the teachers regarding time management. Udemy platform is giving a time management for course for teachers. It is wonderful session given by some author. I don't know exactly the name, but Udemy platform given a wonderful time management course for the teachers. And alison.com, alison, alison.com. So this is also a wonderful session for the teachers time management. So these are all platforms which was given for the teachers for the time management. So you can once log in into that and pay some details like 445 rupees, something like that you can pay, and you just go through it. So here are some exercises how we have to manage the time. Without time, what will happen, we need to know. So exercise 1, can we do exercise 1? So somebody asked regarding what are the online tools, time management tools that for teachers has to be introduced by the different by the Google Play Store. I will tell you. First, online calendars. So in that online calendars, one is Google Calendar and the Outlook. So in that you can block all the dates, whatever the availability you have set. You have Google Calendar and the Outlook. Next, classroom management apps. In this classroom management apps, you are having two tools. One is Google Classroom and the other one is Glue Class Dozo. So these two apps you have to use. Next, time tracking apps. In this time tracking apps, the apps are rescue time and at the same time the toggle. You can use these tools for time tracking apps. Next, productivity apps. You can use focus at the rate of will, and at the same time forest you can use based on your productivity apps. Note taking apps, you can use your Evernote or OneNote or Google Keep apps. You can use these ones so that you can wastage your time, and at the same time within the time only you can finish your task. So these are all things you have to understand and cope up with the technology, update with the technology, use the technology and set the time, and do the work within a time limit. So generally we are having three time zones of teaching. So in these three time zones of teaching, it is divided into zone 1, zone 2, and zone 3. So in zone 1, generally we are having structured work time lessons, schedule meetings, all these are to be set in zone 1. But in zone 2, we are having unstructured work time plans, preparation, and assignments. But in zone 3, there is no time limit for that particular zone 3, but at the same time you have to focus, but it is not that much urgent, not that much important, so later on you can do. So here the zone 1 is very very prioritized and very very important, and zone 2 is, it is important but it is not that much urgent. Zone 3 is, it is not that much important, not that much urgent. So zone is very very clearly defined. Once you have started it, it is soon or later you have to finish it. You can't give grades to most of your class, you have to complete them all, usually to some sort of your deadline. So whenever the time to zone 2 has to be done, you have to go to the zone 3. So preferably the day before, but certainly no later than first thing in the morning. Take 10 minutes daily to estimate what zone 2 is. Whenever you want to do the zone 3, zone 2, you have to first, before the day only, you have to give 10 minutes of time for that, and do your what do your setting of priorities. So that you can do the zone 2. Zone 3 is, it is not that much urgent, but it is very necessary, in later. So you have to prioritize yourself, when we have to do, when we have not to do that particular work. So these are all things, as a teacher you have to manage your time. So how do you manage your time? How do you manage your time? There are different apps, different strategies and tips you can manage your time. So here, can we do one exercise for this? How far the time is very important to us, by this exercise you can learn. So here, can we do, anyone? See here, the first exercise is here. For this game you will need to empty a mayo jar, large jars, pebbles, and water. Take these things if you have near to your home. So what you have to do is, one by one, you have put into the jars. So what you have to do, taken an example of large rocks, you have to put into the water. Taken an example of sand, you have to put into the water. That means pebbles, rocks, sand. Finally, you have to add water into the jar. So by this, what you will observe? You tell me. So here the discussion points are: what would you happen if you had started with the water? You are not starting with the rocks, pebbles, or sand, whatever it may be. You started with the only water first. So what will happen for this? What would you have happened if you had started with the sand? What will happen? You tell me. Anybody give a response? Anybody give a response for this? So here, when you fill up with water, when you fill up with water, you cannot give a space to the other stuff because it is already filled with water. But when you give space to the first pebbles or rocks or sand, whatever it may be, you can fill up with water later on. So you can first prioritize yourself which task is very important, which task is not important to you. Later on, you can do. So if you would put the water in the first or sand, it would be impossible to fit all the things in other items into the jar. So this is an exercise which you can help your team understand the importance of prioritization and how it is starting with the large task. The smaller stuff that needs to get done will often fall into place. So first you need to set the priorities. Later on only you can have to look into the other things. So this is the exercise which will give an information regarding how far the time is prioritized by you is very important. So you can give this exercise to your students too, so that they will cope up with how far the time is very variable asset to ours. So you can assess exercise 2. It is very very important. So suppose taken an example of how would you spend, suppose $86,400. So here the resources are, you have to take like a piece of paper, pen. So generally the teacher is having these things like piece of paper, pen, most importantly your imagination. So here what you have to do is, uh, you would like to receive 86,400 for each day. So in this, what you have to do, you can't save the time later. You have to spend one day only, that is this 86,400. Yeah, this particular money not to be carry forward to the next day. So if you are not spending the money, what you lose it, you just assess and tell me. Anybody, please give me an answer. Anybody please respond. Suppose if I could give $86,000 400 rupees to you, you have to spend that money in one day only. That money could not be carried forward to the next day. So what you can do for this? Next slide, ma'am. Yeah, sure, ma'am. Correct. We can't get back that money again. Here, there is an important point. Money and other things are two. What is that? Next slide, ma'am. Hello. Ma'am, next slide. Back. Go back, ma'am. Yes. Yes. So here, I don't know, Gayatri, ma'am. You already said money won't get, but money is one part, and one more thing is there. What is that? Yes, correct, ma'am. Likewise for our time. So once we discuss, suppose if you are spending that $86,400, obviously you can spend the time too. That is 86,400 seconds in each day. And just like with money exercise. So in this particular time we have today can't be saved for yet like what later time. So what you have to do, you have to set your priorities, and you should know the importance how precious the time is and how important it is, and that they spend it wisely and not let it go to waste your time. So this is the concept of exercise 2. Next one, ma'am. So exercise 3, here everybody has to just take a paper and write it down your on your paper. So here first you have to draw some points according to your priorities. So what you have to do is, first you need to write down the first priorities, or that means the time, like how much spend on your routine activities like sleeping, or what we call showering or eating, like that you have to write down first one. Second page is you have to write it down, on what aspects you are wasting your time, like phone calls, social media, or chit chatting, or running to canteen always. So these are all things you have to note it down on second page. Third one is you have to note it down where you where you are wasting your time in remaining. Suppose first page you entered how far you are using your time to your what first priority. Second one is your less importance. Third one is set you have to delete the first and second quadrants. Third one you have to note it down the remaining things. That means your what we call laziness, or procrastinating the schedules. These are all things you have to enter in exercise 3. So generally, most probably the teacher is spending much time on in according to research, on social media, phone calls, like that, TV, television, like that. So try to reduce our time so that time will give you a miracles to your wonderful career. So thank you, ma'am, thank you so much. um, any queries? Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving this opportunity. Any queries, please?